Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. Once again, it is time to venture back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, albeit to a time before Thanos snapped his fingers in Avengers Infinity War. That fascinating year known as 1995. Does Carol Danvers have what it takes to join the roster of Avengers? This is Captain Marvel. If you were to ask me what I think of most of the Marvel Studios movies, I would say they are good. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies are great in my book, but the rest of the universe tend to be entertaining spectacles with likable heroes and well-made action scenes. Villains tend to be hit or miss, but that's often not a deal breaker. And Captain Marvel counts as another good one. It does not attempt to rock the Marvel boat in any significant way, and is mostly content to follow Carol on her journey as she attempts to piece together her memory. A lot of this movie is carried by Brie Larson's performance. She's serious and determined when she's required to be, but it also brings a sly wit at times, as well as the necessary empathy. I love seeing Carol's progression throughout the movie, and the filmmakers also have fun throwing her into the 90s setting. There's definitely a knowing smile when she wanders into a blockbuster video and attempts to connect to the internet with dial-up. The movie does go easy on the fashions of the decade, though, which is a bit of a relief. I also really like the interactions between Carol and Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. There's a fun buddy comedy interplay, and it's neat seeing Fury as a field agent before he becomes the super serious head of S.H.I.E.L.D. I would say it's remarkable how they managed to de-age Jackson for his entire screen time, but let's be honest, he does not look that much different today than when he appeared in Jurassic Park. I refuse to believe he is 70 years old. The friendship between Carol and her fellow Air Force pilot Maria is also depicted well, and it's a tricky relationship to handle due to how they are required to reconnect, but I think the filmmakers pull it off. Directors Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck also do a good job of directing the action scenes. A good chunk of them consist of space battles and flying with spaceships, which gives off a certain Star Wars vibe. My favorite action sequence is one on a subway train where Carol tussles with a shape-shifting Skrull. The Skrull's abilities do allow for some creativity on the filmmaker's part. Oh right, and there's also a cat in the movie. He's a pretty great cat. There are multiple points in Captain Marvel that incite the proper excited reaction when Carol goes into full power mode. One problem Marvel movies tend to have is that the third act tends to devolve into the usual massive action climax and all sorts of special effects flying around, and I felt Captain Marvel largely avoided that. Even with all the action and effects, I still felt the characters came first. And yes, I will say this. Captain Marvel is empowering, and there will be young girls who will watch the movie and look up to Carol Danvers and be inspired by her. Some may even see her flying those jets and be inspired to join the Air Force one day. Media, whether it's comic books or movies, have that power. Does the movie closely follow the Marvel Cinematic Universe formula? Yes, it does. But I think it's a formula that works for the most part. I'm often happy to watch the newest adventure unfold and see what the talented people working at Marvel Studios have come up with. There's always a question of whether a new hero deserves to join the Avengers, and I think Captain Marvel is a worthy addition to the roster. And finally, I want to bring up a Stan Lee dedication. We all expected one to be added to this movie, but they really went far beyond in paying tribute to Stan Lee, and it was just perfect. His cameo is also one of his best. In conclusion, this is another fun Marvel movie, and I look forward to how they utilize Captain Marvel in Endgame. Thank you for watching this week's review, and I'll see you next time.